Senator, you sent a letter to all of the all of the senators yesterday, making this point. And correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you got reelected twice. I don't think you ever had
just once.
Just what? You didn't get a Democrat.
Just once after that.
Didn't get a Democratic primary challenge of note, to my knowledge.
No.
I don't think Bill Clinton campaigned against you, did he?
No, he did not.
So, what do you make of what you're watching?
Well, Chuck, I have to say, you don't want to exaggerate, but I think I can say without exaggeration, this is going to be one of the best or one of the worst days in the history of the United States Senate and this country, and specifically the United States Supreme Court. Because
Best
the Chief
or worst?
Justice
That
has
is
to make
quite,
a decision.
That is, you basically think a vote of no witness makes it the worst day in the history of the Senate, and a vote for it is the best?
Well, I assume that would be quickly followed by the acquittal of President Trump. And here's why. Because we have always had witnesses in these trials. And the fact is, this may be a tie, as Senator Van Hollen was saying. And if it is a tie, the Chief Justice has every ability to vote to break that tie. The only precedent we have is from the Johnson trial, where the Chief Justice did break ties. I don't believe this came up with Rehnquist in the Clinton trial. And so the Chief Justice has to decide not only what he should be doing in terms of this trial, but in terms of the role of Chief Justice as the protector of the rule of law. Now, look, Chuck, I didn't just vote, the only guy to vote for the witnesses. I voted for Chief Justice Roberts.
Right.
And I am a progressive. And I took a lot of flack from people for doing that. Mr. Chief Justice, I voted for you because I thought you were a man of the law, because I thought you were thoughtful, and that you would care deeply about the office of the Chief Justice. If the Chief Justice shirks his responsibility here to make sure that there are trials, it is an historic moment, and it is very damaging to the Supreme Court as well as to the Senate if this becomes the kind of fraudulent outcome that I'm afraid it might have.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.